This is Colin McGuigan for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by the main man himself, Maxi Hughes in Dublin. Maxi, first of all, is this your first time in Dublin?
First time in Dublin, yeah. I think I've been to Belfast numerous times. Fought there at Europa, and I've been to a wedding here just before COVID. Bray over the west coast.
Katie Taylor's from.
Yeah, first time in the capital. Yeah.
In terms of this fight and what it means to Rhys Mould, you obviously work closely with him. You know him better than most. He seems very confident up there, but I've spoke to Gary Cully this week and he's also very confident. How do you see this one going?
Obviously, back in my man. Like, he hates that press conference. That's the worst bit for him. He hates it. I thought he did all right up there. You know, Gary, well, what we expect. You know, he's at home. He's gonna sell the fight. He's gonna say he's got no demons, this and that. Like, I think Rhys might have touched a nerve there when he said, coming back from a defeat like that. Rhys has been there and done it, and that was years ago. And I mean, he's only one loss to Lee Wood, you know, and that loss now is aged quite well. But yeah, Gary's got a lot to answer for. He can say, "I've got no demons." You don't know until you do that ring, until you get in that ring and take that first shot. You don't know. So Gary's not going to let off that he's got this pressure. You know, he's keeping it internal. But he will have it, 100%.
A lot was spoke about over the years of you and Gary Cully. Kind of just has vanished now. If Gary was to get the win or even get defeated here, would you welcome that fight, or are you kind of looking on to bigger and better things now in terms of Gary's career trajectory isn't quite at where you are? Obviously, the size of the fights that you've been in, like Kambosos.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm well past that, and this is when they were trying to make the fight before. I was like, I'm already past this level. I'm time served. I've cleared up domestically. You know, Gary had tried to bypass the domestic scene, and look where it got him in his last fight. You know, he fell short because he'd not been seasoned. He'd not done his apprenticeship. You can't buy experience. You can't borrow it. Pretend you've got it. The only way you get it is going out and doing it. You know, next year, I'm 14 years in as a pro. You know, there's not a lot of style and there's nothing that I haven't seen in boxing. So that's standing me. You know, that's why I am where I am now. You know, my last fight, Kambosos, major name in the sport. You know, the result absolutely stunk, and you know what's happened since has nearly made up for it. But you know, the whole world, especially the American boxing fans, know who I am and they know what I'm capable of, and everybody knows that I won that fight.
In a way, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but because of everyone knows you won that fight, right? You watch that fight, you know Maxi Hughes came out victorious, but when people maybe look at that in America, now do you think maybe you've been dealt an even worse blow? Because fighters will go, hold on a second, I'm not fighting Maxi Hughes. So you got that loss, and now you're going to struggle to maybe find opponents?
Yeah, it's a way of looking at it, and I have thought about that, not too much. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens next. You know, we're still waiting on some official news from the IBF. It seeming positive at the minute. You know, I think the amount of people that, you know, I've had a lot of messages saying, just want to let you know, Maxi, we've contacted the IBF, we've complained to IBF. So I think that especially the couple of weeks after it, they'll have received emails, people trying to phone them. You know, a lot of stuff on social media, and it's done what it needed to do. It's hit them. You know, the president, Darryl Peoples. You know, I've been in contact with him myself over email, and you know, he's explained what had happened, and the fight has been rescored by an independent panel of judges. So a lot has gone off because it was so controversial.
When you say the fight's been scored by the independent panel of judges, does that mean that this could actually turn in your favour? This could be a complete flip?
They'll never change the decision. You know, that's what he explained. You know, we've never seen a decision. The only decisions that get changed are where they go to a no contest, aren't they? Like we saw with Keyshawn's last one. Because of that failed test, that result now turned to a no contest. But we've never seen a decision overturned to me winning. I suppose it gives me peace of mind But it's just a shame that independent panel of judges want the official judges on night. Because I'd be looking at fighting Lomachenko now. Annoyingly, it's my belt, what they stole from me, vacant IBF, and the Ring magazine. I think that should be me on there. But you know, they haven't put my fire out. My fire's still well and truly, going. So we've just got to wait. I think what we're waiting for now is the IBF to order. Usually when you have a loss like that for an eliminator, you lose. You're normally either out at rankings or you drop right down. I've been elevated now into top 5. There is only 4 of us in top 5 because the number 1 spot's vacant, which I'm hoping to be ordered into an final eliminator. Who that'll be against, I don't know. Hopefully Isaac Cruz, but there's rumours of him fighting Tank, so we don't know until the IBF get ordered. And I speak to my management team and DeBella. We won't know who and when, but either way, I'm back in training. I'm training hard, and I'm just waiting for that phone call.
Last one from me. When is it that we'll expect to see you out, Maxi? Obviously, the fans that made their way to Tulsa, the people that have been watching, the people that feel hard done by for you, want to know when you're going to be back. When is it looking likely? Maybe March, April time?
I'm really hoping so. Annoyingly, how it ended up falling last year this year. As soon as they said, we kept getting told, it's going to be then. It's going to be then. They kept getting pushed back, and I thought, there's going to be no chance of fight. When I asked for this fight first, beginning of this year, I was like, fight Kambosos earlier this year. I'll take care of him. Boom. By the end of the year, I'll be fighting for vacant IBF. And it didn't work out. The fight got pushed back to July. So I was like, there's no chance, I don't think, of it being that much of a turnaround, which, it hasn't. So I'm really hoping for March, April. That gives me a chance to also then fight for the back end of next year, so I can get them 2 fights in.
Well, Maxi, always a pleasure on IFL. I'm sure we'll catch up over the weekend. You're here for the big fight, so we'll catch up after that, but really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.